Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. This is your teacher Amna Nasreen from University of Education, Township, Lahore campus. The course title is Language, Culture and Identity. The course code is ENGL 2117. This lecture is prepared in coordination with Miss Anika Zafar. She is also from the same campus. I hope you will thoroughly enjoy this lecture and you will fully understand it, what multiculturalism is and the issues and identities regarding it. The topic of today's lecture is the issues of identities in a multicultural society. But before moving into the topic, let's briefly recall what we have studied about identity and what do you mean by culture in general. So my dear student, identity. What is an identity? An identity is who or what a person or thing is. Your identity is how you define who you are. It is also how others define you. And interestingly, these definitions could be in contrast to each other, means how you define yourself could be completely different from the definition of the others. How do they define you? So my dear students, how we define ourselves is a self-representation of our culture. It represents our interests, our relationship with the others, with our surrounding, with our family members, with our community people, and an efficacy in doing the things that matter to us. Our sense of identity and belonging is impacted by various factors. There are numerous factors that contribute to make our identity. For example, that could include our experiences with the other people, our experiences with the government or with the societal groups who are living in a particular area, and the physical environment where you live actually. So students, in the 21st century, we are witnessing a challenge to notions of identity. For example, our pronunciation of words, our grammatical structure usages, our dialect, our different sort of languages that we use, and our utterances, that how we utter our words, that reveals how we view ourselves linguistically. Our language choices reflect more than the way we view ourselves. So there is a person, his name is Rainbow. He says that a person's social identity comes from an individual's knowledge of himself as an individual in relationship to another. So it can be stated that we construct our identity by how we perceive ourselves in the eyes of the others. Language is not only a means of communication, but it's also a process to self-identify. In a globalization communication, learning other languages as a second language positively promotes intercultural understanding across languages and cultures and helps in forming our identity. So language and culture, they are very much interrelated to each other and they all depend on each other also. Language is formed by the culture, while culture is influenced by the language and together they both form our identity. So now coming to word culture. You must have heard this word so many times, and in the previous lecture you must have covered culture and a relationship of culture with the language. So briefly recall that culture is an umbrella term. It encompasses the social behaviors and norms that are found in the human societies, as well as it also encompasses the knowledge, belief, art, laws, customs, capabilities, and habits of an individual who are living in a particular group of society. So the word culture, that comes from the Latin term that is colere, which means to grow something out of the earth. In a sense, our culture is what grows us together. And the culture is an ongoing process. The process of enculturation is a never stopping process. Means that when you are living in a particular society, you keep on learning the culture of that, and that is called the enculturation process. It's a never ending process. If you put a full stop to something that you have learned the culture of that society, that means you are not going to grow with the passage of time. Culture grows with the passage of time, and it's an ongoing process, and there is not a full stop to each other. It's open to new options, new values, and new habits. For example, with any calamity, the culture of any particular place changes. For example, in China, we have seen a coronavirus nowadays, and it's definitely going to affect the food habits of that people, what they were eating earlier and now what they will eat now. And in the general, in the whole world, it's going to change the personal hygiene, the overall culture of living together within a community. It's going to affect also. So dear students, human acquire culture through the process of enculturation and socialization, which is shown by the diversity of culture across different societies. Culture is often used to categorize or divide people into groups. Very often you must have heard Western culture, Eastern culture, African culture, Indo-Pak culture. These are the different segments of society that divides the people into different groups, and we can easily identify them. For example, the people living in the East, in our part of the world, we follow an Eastern culture. People living in the Europe or in the Western part, they follow the Western culture, and we can identify both the cultures by looking at the people, by looking at the choice of the food, by looking at the dress of the people they wear, by looking at the language they use. So now coming to the multiculturalism. Before understanding the issues of identities in a multicultural society, we need to understand what multicultural society is. So to understand multiculturalism, you need to know what globalization is. Pause over here and comment on what you understand by the word globalization when you hear of it. What comes to your mind? So all of you must have heard the term that world has become a global village. Means that everything that is present in the world is accessible to you. Every information, be it in any part of the world, you can just click one finger on your mobile or on your net, and that is available to you. You can talk to anyone who is living in any part of the world. You can see that person at any moment without a process of delaying. So the world has become a global village. So globalization in a normal way, it can be said that it is the spread of products, technology, and the information you have and the job across the national borders and cultures. In economic terms, it describes an interdependence of nations around the globe that is promoted through the free trade. And there are many advantages that comes with the globalization. On the upside, it can raise the standard of living in poor and less developed countries by providing them job opportunities. For example, the people who are living in underdeveloped countries, they want to upgrade themselves. They migrate to a country which is developed, and they find job opportunities over there. They are well paid over there. So in this way, they raise the standard of them and their family members. It also gives an access to modernization and improved access to goods and services. So globalization is a social, cultural, political, and a legal phenomenon. Socially, it leads to greater interaction among various populations. For example, a person of a less developed country, he moves to the developed countries, he came across with the number of population, number of culture, number of societies were living over there. So there is a cross culturation between the two societies, between the two people. Culturally, globalization represents the exchange of ideas, values, and the artistic expressions among culture. Artistic expressions means, for example, the art, that could be the dance, that could be the dramas, that could be the movies. So socially, when the world has become a global, you can see in your country the art industry or the drama industry of Turkey, which is which is very flourishing in our part of country. So you can see there is a exchange of ideas and the cultural beliefs, and so we come to know that how people live there through their dramas, we can see. And globalization also represents a trend towards the development of a single world culture. That means that the whole world is coming to a homogeneous culture that they identify themselves as. So, dear students, nowadays, due to the economy globalization, many people come from different countries with various cultural backgrounds. They live in the same society permanently or for a period of time. They mix together with the local people. Either they live with the local people or they make their own community within that society. Eventually, the mixture of different cultures will lead to multiculturalism. The term multiculturalism refers to a system of beliefs and behaviors that recognizes and respect the presence of all diverse groups in an organization or society. It acknowledges and values their social cultural differences and encourages and enables their continued contribution within an exclusive cultural context which empowers all within the organization of that society. So, multicultural society is a society in which there is an inclusion of many diverse people. It is a society in which people are given freedom of religion. They can opt whatever religion they want. They can use whatever language they want. They can dress up themselves according to their own choices. They can eat food whatever is suitable to them and whatever their culture allow them or their religion allow them. So they can express their ideas, their values and their belief system without the fear of maltreatment. They do not have any fear that what people will think about them, what they are eating or what they are dressing, but rather they are free to make their own choices. For example, Karachi is also it's a city where there are lots of people from the different ethnic backgrounds of the different parts of our country. We cannot say that Pakistan is in a true sense a multicultural society because there are not many foreigner people living in a Pakistan and they are settling. But locally, if we see in the Karachi, it's a cosmopolitan city where the people from the different provinces they come and they enjoy and they continue their life living in that particular community in Karachi. So it's a society, multicultural society, as there is people can observe different subcultures which are differentiated through the others in terms of language, in terms of the religion, in terms of the norms and values and their pastime habits, the sports, their culture. So a multicultural society would be composed of people from different ethnic backgrounds and cultures living and working together. It is a society where people from different backgrounds they intertwine with each other's culture. They show the acceptance of each other's culture and background. They show harmony and respect to the other person. It is a society that works well. People have roles and responsibilities they should fulfill. Every person is bound to observe the law and the commitments of the government that is given to them. So they have the right to educate themselves and their children. They have the right to avail the best healthcare facilities that are given by the government in that particular society, and they can protect themselves from the crimes and they can be helped when they're in the poverty. So if we see nowadays due to the attack of this pandemic and the coronavirus, people in Pakistan, irrespective of the fact that they belong to which ethnic group, everyone is giving their healthcare facilities by the government and everybody is helped by the government because they are in the poor condition. Now let's briefly discuss what causes multiculturalism. What are the causes that creates a multicultural society? Number one and the most important is the international labor flow. The international labor flow is one of the important aspects that causes multiculturalism. As a part of the intensive globalization, the total number of international labor migration increase continuously. They bring their working skill into a foreign country along with the convention and the religious belief, and the long-term coexistence make culturalism inevitable. Means when the people of the other countries, they are into the another country and they bring their skill, they do not only bring their skill but also their cultural values and the belief system with them. So a person in isolation is nothing but is a whole mixture of the identities he is carrying with him. So he carries those belief system, he carries his ethnic identity, his cultural identity into the other country with the skill he is having. So let's take an example of Auckland. Auckland is a large metropolitan city in the North Island of New Zealand. In the Auckland, there was a shortage of local laborers and it has become a serious problem for the country. It is reported that a forecasted 32,000 new people will be required to work in the construction and infrastructure industry over the next few years of the Auckland. Hence, the government has to allow employees that has to be recruited from the other country part of the world on the talent visa, so they could come into their country and help themselves and help the country in building the infrastructure and the construction industry. In 2014 and 15, essential workers were approved with an effort of employment in Auckland, and there were numerous countries they were in the list. So they hired people from India, from China, from Pakistan, from Philippines. It proves that Auckland's international labor is diverse both ethnically and culturally. As more and more international labor forces came to Auckland, so it has become a multicultural society in a true sense. We have also seen in Pakistan when there is a CPAC corridor is building between Pakistan and China, we have seen the labor coming from China and the technician, they are coming from China. So they are coming and working over here and they are mixing themselves with the local community. They live together and they utilize their space and enjoy their cultural beliefs and the values and the systems. So they have not come only with their skills but also with their whole culture, because they are self-representation of the culture. Now coming to education. Beside international labor flow, the international students is another mainstream cause that causes multiculturalism in a particular society. So studying abroad becomes more and more popular in our country. Every student after graduation or at a certain point, he wishes to go abroad and get a degree in any other country which is more developed than their own, so they could bring a good quality name to themselves. Students expect to experience a higher quality education in other countries and are eager to have opportunities to touch the exoticness as well. So they could educate themselves with the highest degree, with the latest ideas, or with the new technology of that country which is lacking in their own country. So students, when they go abroad into another country, they utilize the new technologies and latest discoveries which they are lacking behind in their own country. In 2016, there were nearly 5.1 million international traveling students. Means there was a whole flux of students who were migrating from their own country and going to the other countries and availing their educational opportunities. Some could get scholarships from the international university or some were going at their own. So beside learning academic knowledge, overseas students are affected by the local cultures. Meanwhile, they are also showing off their colorful diverse culture to the local folks. They were not going there alone, but since they are the self-representation of the culture they belong to, so they not only influence the other people with their culture but also get influenced of the local culture. Let's take the example of London. London is the capital and the largest city of United Kingdom. It is one of the most attractive destinations for international students. London is called a city of colleges and universities, and according to a website, London is the top choice for international students looking to study abroad. Over 1 lakh international students are studying in London, and every year international students come over from many other nations, nearly 200 nations. So London welcome every student, be it part of an Eastern culture, be it a part of a Western culture, or be it from any other continent. So many countries, the students from many countries such as China, Malaysia, United Kingdom, Hong Kong and India, they are going to London and getting education over there. And many Pakistani students also getting scholarships from the universities of the local education system over in London. So they go there and equip themselves with the new and the latest technology. So overseas students making London a global, vibrant and a diverse city. As more and more international students come to London, so London has become a multicultural society. Let's take the example of Lahore. Lahore is also called the city of universities and colleges such as London. So there are many educational universities and there are many colleges in every hook and corner of Lahore. Lahore also welcomed people from the other subcontinent, from the other provinces of Pakistan who belong to different ethnic groups. They come and settle over here. They do not bring their ethnic qualities over there, but also their belief and their cultural system, and merge themselves while living in Lahore and also learn something from its people. So many students from different parts of country come to Lahore for education. Even if you look into your class, whether you are living in province of Punjab or you are in any other province, you will see that the people from the different ethnic backgrounds have come to your part of city and they are enjoying the same education which you are enjoying over there. They do not bring their culture but also their ethnic values as well. Though international students are few in our part of country, but still we can call it's a multicultural hub. Now coming to the refugees. Refugees is also an important factor that contributes to the multiculturalism. It makes great contribution to multiculturalism. The refugees refers to those people who are forced to leave their country because of war or other humanitarian reason. It is a group of miserable people, mostly of them are in a very poor economic status. They have to move to the other country, then bring into their culture and conventions. According to a report, there are 25.4 million refugees in the world. This number is quite enormous. Germany has taken in the largest number of refugees among the Western countries. The refugees who have come to Germany, they belong to different countries and they belong to Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan and Iran. So many of them are staying in the city of Berlin, which is the part of Germany. Some of them they live in the refugees shelter and some with the local people together, and some make their own communities within the society. So Berlin itself is a multicultural city amongst its population. It has welcomed people from Europe, from Turkey, from Asia, from Poland and at the other parts of the world. So that these refugees, they belong to different cultural groups, they belong to different religious groups. So the coming of refugees into the other country, that increases the level of multiculturalism. As more and more refugees from the other countries coming to Berlin, Berlin has also become a multicultural society. Dear students, Pakistan has also catered refugees from Afghanistan. Afghanistan is our neighboring country, and due to the war in the country, many of the native people, they have migrated to Pakistan and they have took refugees, they have took shelter in Pakistan. The first wave of Afghan refugees to Pakistan began during the Soviet-Afghan War, that was in late 1970s. By the end of 2001, there were over 4 million refugees in Pakistan. Most of them have returned to Afghanistan since 2002, and in the latest, when America has attacked in Afghanistan, many of Afghani people, they have come to Pakistan. Though it creates lots of problem for the government of Pakistan, but still, being a neighboring country, the Pakistan has to give them the shelter. Students, what do you think the characteristics would be of a multicultural society? What are the essential components and what are the essential characteristics of a society? So, multicultural societies are characterized by different races, ethnicity, and nationalities they are living together in the same community. In multicultural communities, people retain their culture, they follow their rituals, they follow their belief system, and they pass down those culture and values and the belief system to their loved ones, to their next generation, and celebrate their unique cultural ways of living, their cultural ways of language, their art and their traditions, and their behavior that assimilate them with the certain group. So, the characteristics of a multiculturalism often spread into the community's public school, where curricula are crafted to introduce young people to the qualities and the benefits of a cultural diversity. For example, even in our Pakistan curriculum, if you look at the book of the social studies, you will find not only the social study does not talk about the Muslim society, but it also talk about the society in general. There will be topics on world religion also, on world languages also. In world religion, there will be not only Islam discussed, but also the Christianity will be discussed, the Hinduism will also be discussed, and the factors, the rituals, the belief systems of those religion will also be incorporated in the curriculum of the social studies, and it is a compulsory subjects for the students to understand the society as a whole. As well, the social languages, the cultural traits of the different ethnic backgrounds are also discussed in the curriculum of social study. In the same way, in English and Urdu, the material from the other religions or the other ethnic communities is also included. Though some criticized, it is criticized as a form of political correctness, education system in multicultural societies stress the histories and traditions of minorities in classrooms and textbooks. There was a study that was conducted in 2018 by Pew Research Center, and it found that the post-millennial generation of people that age between 6 to 21 are the most diverse generation in American city, because it had people from the multiple cultural backgrounds, and they welcomed the other cultural cities, other cultural people, and they incorporated into the same society. So they were the most diverse generation. Far from an exclusive American phenomena, examples of multiculturalism are found worldwide. For example, in Argentina, newspapers, articles, and radio and television programs are commonly presented in English, German, Italian, French, or Portuguese, as well as the country's native Spanish. In the same way, in Pakistan, we have local newspaper. Other than that of our national language newspaper, that is Urdu, we have some regional language newspapers also. That is most common in the region of that particular area, but they are also available in the other parts of the country. Also, the PTV, the Pakistan television channel, also promotes regional programs that might of the region based on the Quetta, or the people from the Peshawar, or the Pakhtun, or the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa channels are also available. So we have seen a multiple language culture in Pakistan also. If we talk about the Argentina, the constitution promotes immigrations by recognizing the rights of individual to retain multiple citizenship from the other countries. So in many parts of the country, people have more than two nationalities, one from the other country. So that's why in Argentina they promote multiple citizenship. Students, let's now discuss the advantages of a multicultural society. What do you think? What is the benefit of being living in a multicultural society? It is no doubt that multiculturalism will bring many advantages. The multiculturalism will add color to the monotonous modern life and make city vibrant and fascinating. Because when living in a society, if it is a group of people who are homogeneous, so the life will be very monotonous and everything is predictable. But when people from the other countries, they will bring their own culture and the society will be heterogeneous, composed of various groups, there will be a color in the life of the city. They will bring on their own cultural values, their own traditional values and the belief system, their own set of rituals, their own language, festivals. So there will be a color in the society. People coming from different countries with various habits and cultural heritage will bring fresh, exotic and unusual experience to the local ones, because when they will bring, they will not be there in isolation, but since they are self representation of their culture, so they will be bringing on their own cultural heritage to that country where it's a multicultural. So there will be unusual experiences for the local ones to enjoy, that will be different for them. If a community is let's suppose if a community is a Muslim community and there are some people of a Christian group, so when they will celebrate their own Christian festivals such as their Christmas or their Fridays or the other rituals, there will be something different for the local communities to see and enjoy also. Let's take an example of Auckland. Previously, we have mentioned that in Auckland, the government has to allow the people of the other countries because there was shortage of laborers. So when the people from the other countries they come to their country or the Auckland, they will bring on their cultural festivities. So in Auckland, when there are people of different ethnic groups, for example, they invited the people from India, Pakistan, Philippines, or the other part of the world. So there is a dazzling festival and activities almost for every week. For example, if there were Christmas, so there will be Christmas activities or the jingle bells or the Christmas tree everywhere. If there is a Muslim community, they will see a celebration of Eid, the celebration of fasting. They will see the coming of Ramzan going on in the Muslim community, and the Eid al-Azha, when they have to celebrate their festivity. So if there are people from South Pacific, there will be their festival. If there are people from India, they will be celebrating their Diwali, their Holi. So Irish will enjoy their St. Patrick's Day, and Chinese will have their own spring festivals. So the residents in Auckland will hardly feel bored because they are enjoying the food, music, art and culture from the different part of the countries. So when people enjoy, they celebrate in the form of their own art and their own tradition. So the people of the Auckland will not get monotonous, their life will not be bored. In each week or in each month, they will be celebrating some of the festivities of some of their cultural groups. So the residents in Auckland would hardly feel bored, and all of this will give added weightage to charming of the city and attract number of tourists. So here comes the another advantage of being a multicultural society, that the tourism industry is very well promoted. When one person from one ethnic background come to live in another country, he does not only live their whole life in isolation, but he will also invite his others relatives or the other people or the other members of his ethnic groups. So the tourist industry will also flourish. Consequently, it will boost the tourism industry, increase employment and income, and it will also raise local government revenue. It's very interesting to see that how this being multicultural, how it gives an advantage to the government, that it raises their government revenues, because when people from the other country they visit a certain society, they need to have food over there, they need to have a residence over there, they need to do a bit of the shopping for themselves. So that is all going to the advantage bucket of government, that the revenue will be generated for that society. So hence multiculturalism is good for economy. Many cultural cities such as New York, Singapore, London, Sydney, and as far as local is concerned, Lahore is a perfect example. For example, in Lahore, when this Emporium Mall or the Packages Mall were developed, so there were many people from the other province, from the other ethnic backgrounds, who were not residing in Lahore. They came to the Lahore to see these places. So the tourism also developed, and so hence the revenues were also generated. So beside this, the coexistence is beneficial to mutual understanding and learning among people from various ethnic groups. The better mutual understanding could be great helpful to eliminate deep-rooted prejudice and racist issues. Further, when people live with diverse cultures, they might recognize that the existing element in the world could be viewed by various different ways. It eventually enhances openness and inspires creativity. They might blend different cultures together and create a new unique food, architecture, food, music, and culture. For example, when the Indo-Pak, when Muslims and Hindus were living together, so many of the cultural values, they were transferred from Muslim to Hindus and from Hindus to Muslims. And nowadays we see that in our wedding, there's a lots of the events that are inspired by the Hindus. So a unique food, a new set of celebrations is emerged. So new architecture would be a blend of different things that is coming together. New Zealanders values a strong multicultural society, with 89% agreeing that it is a good thing for a society to be made up of people from different races, religion and culture. The people's positive attitude is the best proof of advantages of multiculturalism. So people need to be very, very vigilant and need to be very, very cooperative with each other when understanding each other's culture. They need to have patience and harmony. So they could accept each other's person. Otherwise, if there is no harmony in the society, there will be disrest in the society, and the people will have psychological issues regarding many things. So students, apart from many advantages of being a multicultural society, there comes few disadvantages which are limited, but they are still worth to be mentioned. Firstly, there will be a risk of social conflict due to the reason of culture, discrimination, injustice, inequality, and religious belief. One of the typical example would be the refugees riots in Europe recently, which have caused many casualties and social instability. There were around 3,500 attacks on refugees or refugee shelter in Germany in 2016. Secondly, we have also seen in Pakistan there have become a risk of social conflicts in Pakistan as well, because many Afghani people, they have come to Pakistan, and it has created a bit of destabilization in the country also because of the social and injustice inequality. Secondly, for weak minority groups, consciously or unconsciously, there is possibility that they will lose their original ethnic and cultural identity or lifestyle in case the influence of the dominant culture is strong. So it's a very much part of the multicultural society. When there is a weak ethnic group or minority and they are in the minority, we see that the majority or the main ethnic group may influence the minor one. So they may lose their own cultural identity and they become at a risk of eliminating their own cultural values. If they are in such a minority, then the religious rituals will not be celebrated on a larger scale. They cannot voice themselves on a larger scale, but the majority of the group or the majority ethnic group will overpower and will actually influence them to lose their own cultural identity and assimilate themselves into the main cultural stream. Thirdly, but not the lastly, for an individual from minority group it is a challenge to get used to a new environment. Sometimes not so friendly, this status likely make them marginal in the mainstream society. And different language environment is a hurdle to their children's academic performances at the beginning. For example, if there is a minority group who does not understand the local language of a certain area, when their student are enrolled in the local education system, their students have to take their education system in the local language. That means their own language, their own native language will be marginalized, or they won't be able to understand that culture, and they won't feel themselves as comfortable as they are in their own skin, as they are in their own culture. So there will be social discrepancy and their social marginalization in the society. So we have discussed the main causes of multiculturalism, and we have seen that the advantages would be the society would be colorful and it will demolish prejudice, enhance social creativity, and also benefit the economy. However, the drawbacks should be mentioned as well, which we have discussed: the social conflict, the marginalization, etc. The multicultural society surely have many benefits as long as it is managed very properly. In general, the multiculturalism is a great opportunity with challenges such as trend is unavoidable all over the world. People are supposed to embrace it with a kind of positive comprehensive state of mind. So it's good for the people to appreciate each other's identities, each other's differences with a good harmony, so that in order to avoid the social conflicts in the society. There are many challenges which a multicultural society face. There are two primary objections to multiculturalism. Number one is that multiculturalism privileges the good of the certain group over the common good, thereby potentially eroding the common good in favor of the minority's interest. Okay, listen very carefully. For example, it's very simple to understand what is the concept of common good and the group good. For example, in when there was East India Company in Indo-Pak, East India Company and the British people, they were in the minorities, but they wanted to command the majority of the group. So they made policies for themselves which was not in the favor of the common good. Common good means in the favor of the masses. If you have heard of the apartheid movement, I'm sure some of you might be. Apartheid movement was a movement that was originated in South Africa, and apartness is the literal meaning of apartheid, that was in the language Afrikaans. It was a system of legislation that upheld segregation policies against the non-white citizen of South Africa. British had a colonization over there in South Africa as well, and they felt very uprightness of being the white people, and they had a social segregation of the white people from the non-white people or the black people. Under apartheid, non-white South African, they were majority in the population, was forced to live in separate areas from the whites and use the separate public facilities, and the contact between the two groups would be limited. That means the non-white people, though they were in the majority, but the white people, they were in minority. They had certain facilities which they enjoyed, irrespective of the fact that those facilities were in the common interest of the common good, means of the common people. The white people had separate the separate system for themselves. They did not allow the black people or the non-white people to travel in the train, so they had a separate train system. They were in minority, but they ruled the African countries. And then there came the Nelson Mandela, who fought for the rights of the black people, and it came that after some time the African people got liberty and they got the equal rights in the African countries as well. So now we have seen this also in America. America was once a country, there was lots of racial prejudice in the country, and there was white people were certainly given an edge over the non-white people, and the certain roles and responsibilities, they were only allocated to the white people in the society, and non-white people were not allowed to have those facilities. But in the recent years we have seen the Barack Obama becoming the president of America. He was a non-white person, so the racial prejudices are also getting over within over the period of time. The second is that multiculturalism undermines the notion of equal individual rights, thereby weakening the political values of the equal treatments. And lastly, multiculturalism raises other questions. There is a question of which culture will be recognized. Some theorists have worried that multiculturalism can lead to a competition between cultural groups, all competing for recognition, and this will further reinforce the dominance of the dominant culture. The focus on cultural group identity may reduce the capacity for coalition political movement that might develop across differences. Some Marxist and feminist theories have expressed worry about the dilution of other important differences shared by members of society that do not necessarily entail a shared culture, such as the class or the ethnicity. It also becomes a main important aspect in the society and a challenge to a multicultural society and to the government of that society, that which culture has to be given what sort of importance. If you give an importance to one culture, maybe some other culture will be suppressed by living in the same society, and that may marginalize those people and giving an inferior complex to the people, those who belong to the that culture. So students, why diversity is important? What do you think about this phenomena, that why it is important to have a multicultural society? What society would be if there is no diversity in it? It will be very monotonous. So multiculturalism is the key to achieve a higher degree of cultural diversity. Diversity occurs when people from different races, nationalities, religions, ethnicity and philosophies, they come together to form a community. They give their own input and they become a better society. A truly diverse society is one that recognizes and values the cultural differences of its people, and they totally appreciate the differences that are found within the communities and with the other people. So today, entire countries, workplaces and schools, they are increasingly made up of various cultural, racial and ethnic groups. By recognizing and learning about these various groups, communities build trust, respect and understanding across all cultures. So communities and organizations in all settings benefit from the different background, skills, experiences and new ways of thinking that come with the cultural diversity. So as a company or the organization or the society will flourish more if it is based on the different diverse group, because different diverse group, they bring in their own mentalities, their own mental sharpness, and they add their own benefits into the particular society in which they are living in. That society is more prone to prosper where there is a diverse group of people, because diversity contributes to the creativity. Diverse people, they bring in their creativity, and if there is a group of people who are from the same background, there won't be much creativity between them. But if they are from the different background, every individual will bring its own creativity, will it bring its own set of values, all the belief system into that particular project or the particular rule. Then there will be a different colors of the rainbow. So as rainbow is not made up of one color, if that would be made of one color, it would have been boring. But since it is made up of different colors, it appeals to the eye and we appreciate the beauty, how one color is lying next to the other colors, though identically they are separate, but together they are making a whole one rainbow. In the similar way, if the society will be of one culture, there won't be any beauty, any anything new in that, but if there is a culturally diverse group people, it will add beauty, it will look good, and you will feel also good. So students, this was today's lecture. I hope you have fully understood the lecture. By far we have covered what multiculturalism is. In the next lecture we'll be doing some of the issues and the theories that are related to multiculturalism. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Office.